people of the world.
You are watching 100 Degree TV on YouTube.
We want to really start with a condition of loss, a condition of defeat, but still yet having an ability or having a strength or a power to do things, but it is separate from your divine purpose. It's separate and apart from the person that you were created to be, or the entity that you were created to be. And I'm looking at that from the standpoint of the fallen angels, the ones who were cast out of the heavenlies because of the war that was fought. And there's this thing that you can only imagine that lingers in the mind. It lingers in the heart. That, man, we are now cut off. We're disconnected. The good life that we once had, we don't have that anymore because we bought into something. We bought into something about the very one that made us to function in his very nature, and in its very nature, we bought into something, and we went against our very nature. We apparently hated ourselves. We despised ourselves. We knew we were so good, but for some strange reason, that wasn't good enough, and we began to hate ourselves, where we started to think that we needed more. Okay. We started to believe that we needed more, that we weren't enough, that we didn't have enough in us. So we wanted to be like the source. And in turn, we thought that we could usurp the authority of the source. And we entered into a place where we began to hate ourselves because we bought into an illusion, a strong delusion, a strong illusion. And in this process, we got checked. And as we got checked, we have had eons to consistently mull over and consider what we did. And in the process of that, we know there's no redemption, there's no going back, there's no fixing this. And this is a stain, this is a stench. This is an ugly thing that we're consistently having to deal with. But before we would even fix our heart to say, well, I know you said there's no way that this could be fixed, but yeah, I'm admitting, man, I messed up bad. And I'll start with that at least. I'll make peace on that at least. No, they don't want to do that. They can't even come to terms with it. They're trying to find a way. Well, how could we make this thing work to our advantage in the process of not admitting that I royally messed up? So manipulation becomes the order of the day. Stealing and killing and destroying, raping and pillaging becomes the order of the day to try to acquire what they once had by their nature. Spiritual nature, now they're trying to do this in a natural sense by manipulation and stealing and trickery and robbing and killing and raping and pillaging and all of those things. And we find that the sales pitch is to steal, kill, and destroy from everything on the planet, everything in the cosmos, everything in basically every galaxy in the universe. That is the mission. We have to take from it because we no longer have a connection. So we destroy planets and we hop to the next planet and we destroy that, and we sell the story. Well, our planet was destroyed and we're seeking refuge. No, you're seeking to rape, steal, kill, pillage, and destroy another planet. But anyway, and these are the fallen angels we're talking about. So we become beguiled with a false light because the abilities the ability still show forth. It's like intelligence. It's like being brilliant. It still shows forth its light. Like, wow, that's astounding. That's stunning. But it's not connected to the source. It can steal enough power to cause the lights to come on for a moment to give you the horse and pony show, but it can't give you enough light consistently because it's cut off from the source. And this is what we see happen consistently with Adam and the woman in the garden and everyone throughout the course of history. That has been the story. That has been the narrative. So in the process of understanding that they know that they don't have the light anymore, and we fell into fake light or false light after the deeds of the man and the woman in the garden, which I would like to call the third fall, because the first fall was the war in heaven. And then the second fall was, what was the second fall again? The unity of the duality going through its redemptive purpose, that being split into two separate beings. And that might have been eons, thousands, millions of years from the first fall to the next fall. And then we see the third fall now being the two separate entities of male and female being tricked again and fallen into what we now know to be this cycle of duality that we're in, right? Male and female, left and right, yin and yang, black and white, up and down, and all of that schmick, smack that we consistently are fighting with. I keep saying fighting with to bring it into a balance. So this is the mission at hand. This is the mission at hand. How do we remove ourselves from this battle? How do we remove ourselves from this place of being tricked with false light and buying into things that are false, things that aren't eternal, but they have a physical showing, a material showing of brilliance or light or some type of glow, some type of glory, but it technically isn't, because he masquerades around like an angel of light, because he once was an angel of light, but he still has the habitual authority to do the things that he once did, but it's not connected to source. So how do I steal, kill, and destroy to get enough power to do what I used to do and show that, yes, I'm the real light bearer, but I'm really not. But if I can trick you into believing I'm the real light bearer, then you would believe that you're not already in the image of God and you would side with me. So we see the 5 foolish virgins buying into that narrative, and they would cast off the restraints of simply exercising their rights to be spiritual dynamos, as I would like to call it, spiritually filled with dunamis power at will, on tap, in the moment, whenever it's needed to be, versus having to manipulate and work things up to get an outcome. Yeah. So when we talk about the envy and the jealousy as it relates to the 5 foolish virgins towards the wise virgins, in terms of, well, share with us some of your oil. Give us half of your oil so that we can make it to the bridegroom's chamber. I try to make a hint to the fact that there was a prerequisite of knowing how much oil was going to be needed. This is why it was said that you must keep your lamps filled, because by the time that oil burnt out, then you would have found yourself at the entrance of the inner court from the outer court. Because the outer court is likened unto a poorly lit place, or a poorly lit transition into the light. And this is where we're going to find that we're doing the work. We're crucifying the flesh. We're going through the sanctification process. We're going through the continual saving of the soul so that we can get to the chamber, the door of the chamber of the inner court, so that we can truly start this lifelong relationship of connectivity with the source that we once had. before the last fall of man. So it's at this place that I'm simply saying that the envy and the jealousy kicks in because, it's like a crackhead. A crackhead can spot another crackhead a mile away. Whether it's the lean, the walk, whatever, the body motions, the rhythm, whatever. People know whether you got the light, whether you know it or not, because it's what's working on the inside out of you. So they can see it, and they're jealous of the fact that you are connected to it. You may not be as cognizant. You may not be as well versed and mature in all of these things, but you have made a decision to be in alignment with your will and accept the fact that this is your path in life. This is the journey that you're supposed to be on. This is what you're supposed to be walking out in your day-to-day life. You may not have all of the material trappings of the world, but this thing that you have accepted and this thing that has accepted you, this thing that has called you and chosen you and made you its very own, this thing is the thing that makes you shine like a diamond. And you don't see the shine because it's not for you to see. It's for others to see. It's for the Most High to see so that he can identify you. But you in your everyday activities, you don't know what you got going on. You don't see the glow. You don't see the glow show that's going on every day, bro. There's something else going on. And they see it. The fallen angels see it. And they cohorts, they see it. And ultimately, the Most High sees it. The angels, they see it. They see you because you have made that choice to be honed into that thing. So now you're in a place where the jealousy and the envy is coming, and you're like, for what? Why? What did I don't have nothing. I can't even pay my rent. You don't see the light, do you? They see the light, but you don't see the light because the light's not for you to see because you're walking in light. Or you're given light, so you don't need light, But anyway. So let's wrap this one up on this one thing. So the thing at hand here is there's two different ideologies that are being presented. That there are two different ways of living that's being presented, and there was a mandate that was given, and 5 virgins chose to go along or to accept the mandate that was given. While the other 5, they found reasons to debunk. They found reasons to negate, not accept, not embrace what the mandate was because of, I said early in the week, maybe because of a self-worth issue, maybe because they didn't have enough faith and experience with the Most High and who the Most High is to solidify that there's no other option. I don't know exactly what it was, but we'll go as far as to say, well, they might have been manipulated. They might have been genetically manipulated, and they might have been hybrids by nature. And that call was to appeal to the half of them, the side of them that was still in the image of the Most High, giving and making an appeal to that side of them because they were 50-50, Yeah. So the 50% part of them was given an appeal to walk in this thing. And it seems like the other side of them, it drew them away. So they didn't choose wisely, apparently, we'll say. So we see here that as we wrap this one up, this is the dichotomy of the wheat and the tares, the sheep and the goat, and the 5 virgins that are wise and the 5 virgins that are foolish.
Thank you for watching 100 Degree TV on YouTube. Please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to this channel if you find our content valuable, and be sure to join us for the next presentation.